What did you have to unlearn about success to be able to reinvent?
That you have to duplicate what you had, or that you have to top it. There was some young, snotty little guy, reporter, I remember, that said, "Gee, Joan, how are you ever going to top this?" But that did kind of live in the back of my head. But I called the book Life Beyond the Script because I didn't follow the script. And I had a couple of big opportunities, and I talk about them in the book, that I didn't lean into. I mean, first of all, I think I was just completely exhausted after 20 years of getting up at 3:30. But I also kind of left myself an opening to what else I wanted in my life. I had big changes coming my way in my personal life. I'd met a man I knew I wanted to spend my life with. He had never had children, and he ran summer camps for kids. I knew he'd want children. We decided to have children together. So I was really, transforming my personal life in the most wonderful way. And I wasn't really willing for the trade-offs that I'd been making all those years in that demanding role. And so I kind of opened myself up to, there are other ways that I can do this. Nobody probably understands. I did 10 shows after leaving GMA, but they were all small health-related shows mostly. And they just weren't on every morning, in everybody's living room. But they were all meaningful, and they all kind of pushed me into a lot of advocacy roles. And I found incredible satisfaction, a lot of self-fulfillment in each one of those. I mean, from the time I left GMA, I don't know how many times I kind of reinvented my career, but I kept reinventing it over and over. And I finally came to realize, all these other chapters have really been pretty great. I don't think until I could have written this book, though, until now, when I could kind of look back at the whole thing and say those 25 years that most people know about, if you just opened yourself up to it and you just tried, because people are going to have to do that. They're going to have to take their skills and their talents and learn how to use them over a broad range of industries in order to keep reinventing themselves. So I think probably as much as sharing, the breaking barriers all throughout my television industry, the stories of reinvention and managing that and how I approached it and navigated it, to me, that's also maybe even more important part of my book in today's world.
I couldn't agree more, especially with AI. Every day I start to shudder because something else comes up, But did you always have that sort of confidence as a child? Where did you get that resilient attitude?
I think my parents raised a pretty confident young kid, and they were always putting their confidence in. They had great confidence in me, and they always positive affirmations, but not just, "Oh, you're going to be really great." It was like, you have a mission in life, and that's to go out and discover the world and discover how people live and find out how you can make your own mark on this life. And that was kind of like my edict, my challenge. And one of the chapter titles, Reinvention Never Retires. Want it more than you're afraid of it. And if you're fearful, fake it. Believe in yourself and have some confidence. And if you don't, fake it till you make it. And because it sometimes takes that to just, and I was always afraid of public speaking, really afraid. Then I went on tour with Tony Robbins after leaving GMA, and all of a sudden, now I love public speaking. So I'm kind of a living example that you can turn a complete fear into a complete passion. And so I leave you with that, because it's never too late to go for new chapters, and not just something you've done in the past.